Welcome to TWT Talks with Tito. This is Tito Medrano, back for another episode, back in your live. So today we're going to talk about three PLEs, Saturday Night Live main event, WWE. We're also going to talk about NXT Battleground, and we're also going to talk about AEW Double or Nothing. So there's a lot to talk. There's a lot to dive in. So let's get right to it. First event that we're going to talk about is Saturday Night main event. To kick off this match, it was a tag team match between Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, in their corner, the wise man Paul Heyman versus CM Punk, Sami Zayn. This match, it was decent. I felt like, and I'm gonna say this about this event, I felt like a lot of these matches were not time-wise, they were just not long enough. And there was only 5 matches. They felt rushed. This match overall, it was decent. Both all 4 competitors. Obviously the feud between CM Punk and Seth continues now with Seth Rollins as his wise man in his corner, Paul Heyman, and now that he has the powerhouse Braun Breaker, this faction is starting to build up. CM Punk obviously having Sami Zayn as a tag team partner. Yeah, so a lot of, it looked like, for a moment I thought, here's the thing though, I knew that Seth and Braun were going to win. I had a feeling they were going to go over. It would only make sense if they did. They're building this faction and they're building this group. There's no way they're going to lose. As soon as Sami, was ready to do the Halua kick, Paul Heyman, grabs his leg and, Sami saw that. Outside of the ring, someone comes out and attacks CM Punk. And that someone he's back from injury, Bronson Reed. Yeah, Bronson Reed comes out, attacks CM Punk, and from there, they capitalize, pin, I think it was it Braun Breaker or was it Seth Rollins? I think it was Braun Breaker that pinned Sami Zayn, gets the 1, 2, 3, and then we see the little interaction between, Seth and Braun. We know these guys have a feud. They go way back. Braun sent Reed tsunami the hell out of Seth Rollins back in the day. So Seth told Braun and Paul Heyman it's good. Hugs it out with Bronson Reed. And Bronson Reed looks like he's a part of the group now. He's a part of this faction now. And this faction doesn't have a name yet, I believe. So I personally believe Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and Paul Heyman as the wise man. The guy that is in their corner. This group right here, it's gonna get interesting. There was theories. There was theories that Austin Theory was gonna be a part of this group. That hasn't really came in fruition. I thought he was gonna be a part of this group because if you look at the thing is about this group, they're kind of like aiming Evolution, when they had Triple H, Randy Orton, Batista, and Ric Flair. So it's kind of that feeling that they're giving us Evolution. Yeah, so after that, Bronson does the tsunami to CM Punk. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens on Raw with Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. It's really intriguing. But yeah, moving on to the next match. This was for the Women's United States Champion, the champion Zelina Vega, versus the former champion, first ever United States Women's Champion, Chelsea Green. So this match was really good. It was good. I feel like Zelina and Chelsea Green, both of these girls, don't really get enough credit for how good they are. Chelsea Green, I'll say it before and I'll say it again, she's the ultimate performer. Well, you can give her 5 minutes, you can give her 5 minutes, 30 minutes, she knocks it out of the ballpark. Like, you give her scream time, she knocks it out of the ballpark. Even her entrance, her entrance is just amazing. She adds that extra flame to her entrance, which is awesome. Zelina Vega, for the longest, Zelina Vega was always known as the manager girl. But a lot of people forget that Zelina Vega is also a professional pro wrestler. She can wrestle too. And it's great to see her finally get not only a title run, but also like her being involved in a PLE in WWE. So it's great to see that. Yeah, like I said, this match was good. There was I think it was Selena that slipped over the ropes. No, she actually did the 619, and people want to call it botched. She botched it. It is what accidents happen sometimes. She did the 619, and I guess her legs hit Chelsea's nose, and Chelsea was bleeding. But Chelsea, being the pro that she is, she's going to continue because that's what she is. She's a pro. And this match, it was good. It was good. Selena retains the belt. Obviously, she had Chelsea has her helpers, Piper Niven, Elbow Fire next to her. But hopefully Chelsea's okay, and hopefully it's not something severe because lately injuries have been a common thing in WWE as far as male and female professional wrestlers. So hopefully Chelsea is not out for a couple months with the messed up nose. Hopefully it was just a bloody nose and that's it. And again, accidents do happen, unfortunately, and that's part of the nature of the industry. Moving on to the next match. This was a non-title fight. The WWE Undisputed Champion, the last champion as he calls himself, John Cena versus R-Truth. So this match just happened last minute. We know that R-Truth helped out John Cena, and then he got rewarded by he helped him out at Backlash, but then after that, John Cena threw him over the table because, truth being truth. Yeah. But the thing about this match is that John Cena comes out, and R-Truth comes out with new gear. He comes out with John Cena's theme song. He comes out with John Cena's, well, it's not really John Cena's merch. It's R-Truth Cena's merch, as you would call it. His childhood hero comes out with the gear and everything. And yeah, this match it didn't last long. I wasn't shocked that this match was not going to last long, but just the fact that we get to see R-Truth wrestle his childhood hero, which R-Truth, by the way, is 5 years older than his childhood hero. And John Cena and him, this match just, it was just like, R-Truth, John Cena. John Cena did his move. R-Truth did his moves on John Cena, and yeah. And when we thought that R-Truth was going to win this match, again, this was a non-title match, so the title was not on the line. John Cena was going to hit him with the bell, and then he goes, you know what? No. And the referee takes the bell away from John Cena, but then John Cena low blows, kicks him, and takes advantage of that, and then pins him. John Cena hits him with the belt, and at least R-Truth got to face his childhood hero again, which crazy. The last time these guys feuded was 2011. Prior to this match, R-Truth was 2-1 versus John Cena, so now he's 2-2, but it's crazy to believe that R-Truth is facing John Cena. John Cena has 23 days left of his retirement tour, and R-Truth was a part of that. His dream came true. He was a part of facing his childhood hero, so that's amazing. But yeah, we're going to talk more about John Cena later on in this event. Moving on to the next match. This was a steel cage match, and this feud has been going on since forever. It's been going on since Damian Priest cashed in on Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 40. That's how long this feud has been. A steel cage match. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Again, like I said in the beginning of this episode, these matches were not long, and this match was not long. I honestly thought out of all the matches that were in this card, this was going to be the longest one. This is probably the longest one, unless Selena and Chelsea were. But then again, I feel like a lot of these matches were rushed. I feel like Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, they're facing each other again. I feel like Damian Priest has probably 3 wins over Drew McIntyre. Yes, Damian Priest did win this match. We know that they faced each other at WrestleMania 41. At a street fight in Las Vegas, but it wasn't even a street fight in Las Vegas. They had it in the ring. But yeah, this match, it's just And then I found out that Drew McIntyre was injured during this match, so he wasn't 100%. So that's a bummer. And yeah, so I know Drew's probably going to be out for a while. We know that Damian Priest just hit him with the steel chair over the head. Well, not really over the head, but just glazed the other chair, and yeah. But yeah, this match was just, it was brutal. Both guys at this point already know each other. They already know what they bring to the table. So yeah, Damian Priest wins this match. Instead of going over the cage, he goes in the front entrance and didn't pin him, or anything. Which I thought he was going to pin him, but he didn't. And yeah, Damian Priest wins this match. Hopefully, this feud is over, because I feel like this feud has been long overdue. It's been extended for way too long. It's time for these two guys to move on from each other and start a new feud with someone else. As far as Drew McIntyre, I think he's going to be out for a couple of months, because I think he is injured. I think he was wrestling injured. So we don't know how long Drew's going to be out for. Hopefully it's not too long. Like I said about Chelsea Green, hopefully she's not injured too. But again, injuries are a common thing lately in WWE, so hopefully it's not something that it's going to be extended for Drew McIntyre. All right, moving on to the main event of the Saturday night main event. The World Heavyweight Champion, Jey Uso, versus Logan Paul. So, this match, I was not too excited about this match. I was more excited about the ending of this match, but we'll get to that in a bit. This match, prior to Jey Uso facing Logan Paul, John Cena had a little face-to-face with him. Jey was telling John Cena, I haven't seen you since the Royal Rumble, and John Cena is all like, how would it feel if you lose to a YouTuber and I am the last remaining champion? How would that feel? And then Jey Uso just didn't really respond. He was ready to go do his thing with Logan Paul. Like I said, this match was again it was not long enough either. But overall, again, despite what you guys think of Logan Paul, which I numerous times said it, the guy can put a good match with anyone. It wasn't any different with Jey Uso. Both of these guys put up a good match. But overall, we know that John Cena interfered and attacked Jey Uso. So that happened. And here's the thing though. So Cody Rhodes comes back, his music hits, but we didn't get that reaction that we normally get when someone comes back. It's like, oh, that wasn't the case. Cody was just running down the ramp. It wasn't like he was walking slowly. When they come back after being away for a while, they walk out slowly. We didn't get that. So yeah, that happened. And I'm actually shocked Cody Rhodes is back. I thought Cody was going to come back in 2 months, probably July, close to Money in the Bank, or maybe close to SummerSlam. But I guess it is what it is. So yeah, Cody Rhodes comes back, and Cody Rhodes, he attacks John Cena, and then Logan tried to hit him with the brass knuckles. Cody saw that a mile away, and then Jey Uso super kicks him, 1, 2, 3, retains the belt. But Cody gets the mic and says, John Cena, you will face me and Jey Uso versus you and Logan Paul at Money in the Bank. You will no longer ruin professional wrestling, and or you will not ruin wrestling anymore. But here's the thing though. So we already have that match lined up for Money in the Bank. So that's the first match we have. Well, not really, because we have the Money in the Bank women's and men's. So we have those two matches plus the briefcase match. Yeah, those two briefcase matches we don't know. The qualified match, there's going to be qualified matches on Raw and some on SmackDown. So we got that going on. But yeah, and now we have this tag team match. So that happened. So yeah, that's the ending of Saturday Night Main Event. What do you guys thought of it? There is going to be another Saturday Night Main Event in July. This one, honestly, I give it a 5 out of 10. It's just the matches were just rushed. I understand probably, there was some of the guys and girls that were probably, Drew was injured coming into this match, so I just feel like the other matches were just, they were just way too rushed. and we'll see where it goes from there. Then moving on to the next event, NXT Battleground, and this was in Tampa Bay, Florida. Saturday Night Main Event was also in Tampa Bay. This kickoff with for the NXT North American Champion, the champion Soruka, versus the former first ever North American Women's Champion, Kalani Jordan. These two girls are amazing to watch. They're just absolutely amazing. Great match. Soruka is so athletic. She is amazing. The calisthenic with the mixed with the wrestling is off. Let's not even get started with Kalani Jordan. Kalani Jordan is also amazing. Super athletic. I feel like both of these girls are like mirror images of each other when they faced each other in this match. And here's the thing though. While I was watching this match, I was also watching AEW Double or Nothing, so I was doing both, and it was really hard because while this match was happening, the other match of Double or Nothing was happening, so it was really hard to watch both of these events at the same time. I wish they would have done it different time zones, but it is what it is. You work with what you have, and that's it. But yeah, going back into this match, and we will talk about Double or Nothing in a few. This match was just amazing. I think it's a good thing this match was the opener, because they always said the opener and the finisher are the hardest matches for the event. I'm glad this was the opener, because man, yeah, great match. There was a moment where Kilani was gonna win this match, but Zarya kind of pulled Soruka out. And the referee caught her, and he's like, "You're out." And then Soruka was like, "Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?" And then Kilani, takes advantage of that, takes Soruka in the ring, but Soruka counters and does her finisher move and retains the NXT Women's Champion. And yeah, it's great. It's great. She wins this match. She retains the belt. Like I said, both of these girls are awesome. I can't wait when these two girls are a part of the main roster, because I feel like NXT, the women's division, is amazing. And these two girls are going to be absolutely successful when they make it to the main roster. Soruka, I can go on and on, talk about her. The girl, she's amazing. Amazing. And yeah, she retains the belt. And I'm excited to see what else. I'm excited to see more matches of her. But yeah. All right, moving on to the next match. This was a 6-man tag team match. Josh Bridge versus Honk and Tank, the NXT Tag Team Champions, versus the Guillin, the faction, the group of Sean Spear. Like, this match, it was solid. It was solid. I mean, this is probably one of the shortest matches of this pay-per-view for NXT Battleground. It was a good match, solid match. Josh Bridge, Sean Spear, both of these guys been feuding for a while now. Honk and Tank, the new NXT champions. They beat Nathan Frazer and Axiom, who are now part of the main roster on SmackDown. Which, who would ever thought they would be they beat arguably the best NXT tag team champions of this modern era. But yeah, this match was great. Josh Bridge and Tank and Hank get the win. We'll see where it goes from there for that match. All right. Moving on to the next match. Which match was first? I think it was this one. Stax versus Tony D'Angelo. We know that the feud between these guys, the D'Angelo family, Stax betrayed Tony D'Angelo. And there was a lot of unfinished business between both of these guys. And yeah, this match was, it was solid. It was good. Both guys going back and forth. And Stax picks up the victory, takes advantage of a distraction of another group member that was out. Forget his name. I forgot the other the guy that was a part of the D'Angelo family. But D'Angelo's like, what are you doing here, man? You know, for a moment we thought D'Angelo was going to win this match. We looked like Stacks was like apologizing for backstabbing him. But it was all just an act. Stacks took advantage of it, low blow him. Got the 1, 2, 3. Did this finisher move, got the 1, 2, 3. And yeah, and Tony D'Angelo was not too pleased with that loss. But is this feud going to continue? Probably not. We'll see. Moving on to the next match. Oh, this is where it gets more exciting. Which match is next? All right, yes. This match right here. This, like I said, I feel like the women probably stole the show for NXT Battleground. But yeah, let's move on to this match. This is for the NXT Women's Champion. The champion, Stephanie Vacour La Primera, the Dark Angel, versus the Juggernaut, Jordan Grace. This match was just great. You know, there's a reason why Jordan Grace is a former TNA Knockouts Women's Champion, 2-time. But, you know, Stephanie Vacour is arguably, internationally wise, one of the best female wrestlers in the world right now. There's a reason why she was a world champion in Japan. A reason why she was a world champion in Mexico. This girl, she's amazing. She let in superstar. I can praise her all day. But Stephanie Vacour and Jordan Grace put up a great match. Both of these girls went. Like, there's a reason why Jordan Grace is considered the Juggernaut. Jordan Grace looked like, there's a point where I thought Jordan was going to dethrone her. I was like, man, Jordan Grace is like, she is super athletic for her. She's super athletic. She's so unpredictable when she wrestles. She's a powerhouse. But the thing is, Stephanie Vacour she's so good. She knows, you know, there's a reason why she knows wrestling psychology. Like if wrestling was psychology, she would major in that too. And we'll talk about another girl that we'll get into more about wrestling psychology in a bit, because there's another match that we have to talk about, but that's for AEW Double or Nothing. But yeah, this match just was great. It was probably, honestly, I would have to say this match was slightly better than Kilani and Soruka. But I feel like this was the best match in this card. Stephanie Vacour just continues to just impress me all the time. I can't praise this girl anymore because I feel like I'm going to run out of compliments and praise. But same thing with Jordan Grace. Both these girls are just amazing. It looked like Jordan was going to take it, but nah. Stephanie, she just knows how to win. And as soon as she found victory and found her finisher move, which, you know, it wasn't easy for Stephanie Vacour. But Stephanie was put in positions where Jordan Grace, we thought, was going to take it. But no, Stephanie Vacour is like, not anytime soon. This is my run. This is my reign. It's not going to end anytime soon. And yeah. And we did see that AAA talent were there. You know, the famous AAA and WWE partnership that's going on. So Worlds Collide is going to happen during Money in the Bank. So I'm excited to see Stephanie Vacour be a part of that event. And yeah, Stephanie Vacour retains the belt, continues her run as NXT Women's Champion. Yeah, I'm excited to see what she does next. All right, moving on to the next match. This was for the NXT Championship. The champion, the ruler, Oba Femi, versus the number one contender who won the Battle Royal, Miles Bourne. This match was, you know, this match was there's two things that I found out about this match. Domination and heart. Oba Femi is a dominant champion, and Miles Bourne, he's all heart. And he is a definition of, you can do anything in this world if you put your mind to it. The guy, you know, he's an inspiration for a lot of people that have issues hearing. I mean, this guy, they told him that he had a 15% chance of living in this world, and look, he's living a dream. He's facing the NXT champion, and yeah. But yeah, we can praise Miles Bourne, but let's talk about the match itself. Miles Bourne put up a good match, showed a lot of heart in this match. Like he said in prior interviews, Oba might be stronger than me, might have the size over me, might have this, but he don't have the heart. And man, Miles Bourne showed a lot of heart. There was a moment where we thought he's going to win this NXT belt. But, Oba Femi, being Oba Femi, being the dominant force that he is, being the ruler that he is, there's no way that he was going to just, make this match easy for Miles Bourne. He was going to make it hard, and that's exactly what he did. Oba Femi just completely dominated the majority of this match. And I say the majority because I feel like there was moments in this match Miles Bourne had, and again, I was streaming both matches. Well, I was watching both pay-per-views, so it was really, I was gambling with both pay-per-views, but I was also paying attention to this match as well. And yeah, this match, it was just, Oba Femi is going to be the champion for a while. Good luck for anybody trying to take that belt from him. And Miles Bourne, he's going to be a champion eventually. Definitely. He has everything to be a champion. And we'll see where it goes from there. Also, let's not forget, so Oba Femi wins his championship. There was a segment, I don't want to forget a segment, of the NXT North American champion, Ricky Saint. He was talking about, he's going to have his match with Ethan Ego Page on Tuesday. The winner of that match will obviously will defend the NXT North American Championship at Worlds Collide. And both Ethan Ego Page came out. Both guys were facing each other. Like I said, Ricky Saints, he is money when it comes to being on that mic. And yeah, I'm excited to see what he does against Ethan Ego Page, who also is money on the mic. So yeah. All right, moving on to the main event of NXT Battleground. For the first ever in the history of WWE PLEs, the TNA World Championship was on the line. The champion, say his name and he will appear. Joe Hendry versus the former two-time NXT World Champion. Whoop that Trick Williams. Look, this match was good, and it deserved to be in the main event. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people were not giving enough credit to where credit is due. I know a lot of you guys were so used to seeing Trick Williams being a face, but him as a heel, it's been pretty good so far. And yeah, so that being said, this match, it was good. I honestly thought, we saw he paid tribute to Booker T. Booker T's a big fan of Trick Williams. So yeah, I thought Joe Henry there was moments I thought Joe Henry was going to retain this belt, and no, the unpredictable thing happened. Trick Williams is now the new TNA World Champion. Yes, Trick Williams is now the new TNA World Champion. I didn't see that coming. And I know that I heard that Joe Henry was still dealing with some injuries. And, Joe Henry has been having a crazy schedule. So, yeah, that happened. Trick Williams is the new TNA World Champion. So what does that mean? That means he's going to show up to TNA more, do the TNA shows. I don't know what's going to go on. Honestly thought if Trick lost, I thought he was going to get called up to the main roster. That's what I thought, because I think Trick is probably going to go to the main roster. But this changes everything. So what happens to Joe Henry? Is Joe Henry going to go to the main roster? Is Joe Henry going to join NXT? I don't know. It's just I don't know what's going to go on. With Trick being the TNA World Champion, we don't know what's going to go on. So yeah. So that was NXT Battleground. And yeah, let's move on to the next event. Double or Nothing. AEW Double or Nothing. And I think this event was in Phoenix. It wasn't in Las Vegas. They always do it in Las Vegas normally. But it was in Phoenix. I could be wrong, but yeah. To kick off the match, it was for the women's tournament final, Owen Hart women's tournament final. Mercedes Moné, the TBS champion, versus a former AEW women's champion, Jamie Hayter. This match was amazing. This match was amazing. It was great. It was awesome. I can go on and talk about this match, but yeah, like I said, I know a lot of people like to criticize Mercedes Moné because she's not in WWE. Who cares? Enjoy the fact that she's wrestling against the best female wrestlers outside of WWE. Stop complaining about, oh, she's not in WWE. I hear all these podcasts, all these former wrestlers saying that she's ruining her career. Look, I want her to come back to WWE. I truly do. But enjoy the process of her putting good matches outside of WWE. Just enjoy it. Damn it, just enjoy it. And let's not even shift to that. Let's get to this match. This match was just amazing. Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter both killed it to open this event. Like I said, the opener is always important when it comes to PLEs, when it comes to like anything. And these two girls just knocked it out of the ballpark. For a moment, I thought, like I said, if wrestling was psychology, if it was a major, Mercedes Moné would have a master's degrees. That's how good Mercedes Moné is. I can go on and praise her. But Jamie Hayter, she's one of those. Jamie Hayter is amazing too. I'm glad that Jamie Hayter is back. She's no longer injured because she was injured for a while. But yeah, we thought that Jamie Hayter was gonna win this match. I can go on and on about this match, but yeah. But the moment, you know, the referee said 1, 2, and almost said 3, Mercedes picks up her shoulder, and it was 2. And, you know, Mercedes, you know, Jamie was ready to finish it, and then Mercedes reversed her finisher move, and 1, 2, 3. And, yeah, Mercedes Moné wins the tournament. And I'm happy she won. No knock on Jamie, but I'm happy Mercedes won. She won the Owen Hart tournament for women's, because now Mercedes will face the AEW Women's Champion, the timeless Toni Storm. Because I've been wanting to see that match for a while. Mercedes versus Toni Storm, which we'll talk about Toni Storm in a bit. But yeah, I can't wait for that match. And props and a lot of, you know, round of applause to Audrey Edwards, because she's amazing. She's an amazing referee, and she doesn't get enough credit for how good she was. She literally was paying attention to every detail of this match. Props to Audrey Edwards. All right, moving on to the next match. The next match was Neil McGuinness, Daniel Garcia versus FTR. This match, you know, it was good. It was solid. There was a lot of, like, you know, FTR, the heel work that they're doing right now is great. It's about time. For a moment, I thought Adam Copeland was going to come back and attack him, but that was not the case. But yeah, FTR, you know, they beat Neil McGuinness and Daniel Garcia. Both guys put a tough fight between these guys, but it wasn't enough. FTR, you know, they're experts when it comes to tag team. They're the best when it comes to tag team. And yeah, they won this match. Kudos to them. FTR continues their run. All right, moving on to the next match. This was ambulance, a stretcher match actually. Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe. Bloody. This match was bloody. This match was hardcore. Everything was involved. Scissors, tables, chairs. And it's crazy though, because a lot of people don't give enough credit to Ricochet. He gets a lot of criticism for leaving WWE for AEW. Who cares? It is what it is. WWE is not for everyone. AEW is not for everyone. So let's enjoy wrestling for what it is, regardless of what company you watch. Let's enjoy it for what it is. And yeah, this match was just great. It just shows that Ricochet is not just a high flyer, but he can go hardcore as far as matches go. Mark Briscoe, we know that he is the definition of hardcore. The guy doesn't care if he gets bloody. He doesn't care about none of that stuff. I mean, despite the fact that a lot of people thought maybe Mark Briscoe won it, I think it would have made sense for Ricochet to win it, in which he did. And yeah, Ricochet wins, puts him on the stretcher, puts him on the ambulance, and closes the ambulance, and the match was over. Ricochet wins this match. Good match. Moving on to the next match. AEW Continental Champion Konoshita Okada versus the Rainmaker Okada, the champion, versus Mike Speedball Bailey. This was a tough fight. this was a tough match for both guys. I knew Okada was gonna win, but I knew Mike Bailey, Speedball, was gonna give him a run for his money. I had the privilege to see Speedball at an indie show, so this guy is amazing. He's amazing, and we saw what he did in TNA. He did great stuff there too. So, former X Division champion, I believe. So this is not a walk. This is not another. This kind of match is the reason why Speedball Bailey was prepared. Being in TNA, doing it in Indies, he was already ready for the big matches. And Okada is one of the biggest matches, not only in New Japan, but as far as pro wrestling, Okada is arguably one of the biggest matches that you can ever have. And Okada, of course, being the Rainmaker, he knew that he was going to be in a dogfight with Speed Bailey, and that's exactly what this match was. It was a dogfight from bell to bell. But Okada, just being Okada, knowing we knew that he was gonna put a good match, and he was gonna find a way to win, which he did, and retain the AEW Continental Champion. And Okada continues to be Continental Champion. All right, moving on to the next match. The AEW Women's World Champion, the champion Timeless Toni Storm versus Mina Karashawa. And we know these two women are no stranger to each other. Mina Karashawa is amazing. I like this girl. I like how she wrestles. I like that she is like a traditional wrestler. Good match against Toni Storm. Toni Storm, like I can go on and on about Toni Storm, but this match was just great. It was great. I feel like women's wrestling last night killed it. And again, this match was awesome. Toni Storm, it wasn't an easy win for her, but she won it, and she continues her run as champion. And obviously she handshakes Mina. They do their handshakes, they do their hugs and everything. If you've seen the event, you know what happened. But Toni Storm. I'm excited to see Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné. About damn time AEW puts this match together. I don't know why they took so long to put this match together. In a way, Mercedes pretty much beat everybody on her side. Toni Storm pretty much beat everybody on her side. It's about time they do this match. And they're doing it for the AEW Women's Champion. I'm actually shocked they're not doing title versus title. That would be better. But obviously, Mercedes won the tournament, so she is going to be challenging for the belt. Even though she has a TBS belt, she's going to be challenging for the AEW Women's Championship belt. So, again, I'm excited to see these two girls finally face each other. All right, moving on to the next match. The AEW World Tag Team Champions, The Hurt Business. Oh, The Hurt Sentigan, I apologize. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, the Tag Team Champions, alongside MVP and the new member of their group, MJF, versus the Sons of Texas. Dustin Rhodes and Sami Zayn. This match, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, The Hurt Sentigan retain the belts. Am I shocked? No. Obviously, with a little help with MJF. I'm not shocked. That spear that Dustin Rhodes took from Bobby Lashley, wow. And Sami Zayn, again, I haven't seen Sami Zayn in a while as far as AEW goes, but, I'm guessing he's doing the Ring of Honor with Dustin Rhodes. But The Hurt Sentigan, this faction is going to be interesting with MJF a part of that faction now. It's going to be very interesting to see what Bobby, Shelton, MVP, and MJF do. So they retain the AEW Tag Team Champions. All right. Oh, let's talk about real quick, because it's not here. Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly versus the Don Callis family, which I feel like this match should have not been in this. They could have done this match in Collision or Dynamite. The Don Callis family, which is Josh Alexander, Kyle Fletcher, and Konoshita Takeshita. This match was good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't bad, but it's just like, this is the thing about AEW. They stack up a pay-per-view. They put too much matches on the PLE. They They even had like they had a couple pre-matches prior to the pay-per-view. But yeah, I feel like this match could have been in Dynamite, could have been in a Collision. But yeah, the Don Callis family wins. And then after that, Roderick, Kyle, Adam Cole, they get into the Don Callis. And there's more members of the Don Callis family. Lance Archer is a part of that group, and then some other more. I'm like, damn, how many members do they have? It was like they had like over probably like 10 or more, I think. And then Brody King, Tanahashi from New Japan, and they came to help Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. So yeah, that match. So yeah, Don Callis family wins, and yeah, I don't know how many members are in that faction. I think there's way too many, if you ask me, but yeah. All right, moving on. We got 2 more matches. Moving on to Anarchy in the Arena, which it was Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, the group of Sharaba, Samoa Joe, Power Al Hobbs, and Willow Nightingale versus the Death Riders, which include Mariah Shafir, Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, alongside with the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, or Nicholas Jackson, or Matthew Jackson. Again, Anarchy in the Arena, this kind of match is, I feel bad for a camera guy, because you gotta be all over the place. There's still at least 4 or 5 camera guys in different spots for this match. This match takes anywhere in the arena. It's brutal. It's, And when this match was happening, the Henry versus Trick William match was happening. So I'm just like, this is me with both screams. So, yeah, this match was just brutal. The spots were just, man, it was, and of course there was blood. Wow, there was even music playing. I don't know if it was by accident, but it was playing for a while. And, Kenny and everyone just went along with it. The bumps that a lot of these guys took, man, it's just brutal to see. I mean, we saw Widow Nightingale getting her ear locked, and we saw, tables, not ladders. We saw tables, we saw barbed wires. We saw, it's just like, I can go on and on about this match, but overall, the winners were Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, Sharaba, and Willow Nightingale. I thought Bryan Danielson was going to show up. No, that wasn't the case. I did see Hook. He showed up. I liked Hook's sweater, by the way. He had like South Park Kenny sweater. That was dope. I like that sweater. Hook, if you know where you got that sweater, let me know. I want to get one of those. It was a nice orange, the Kenny character from South Park. It was pretty cool. Not that I would watch South Park like that, but that was a pretty cool sweater. Yeah, so yeah, all these guys and girls, the bumps that they took, I feel like they're gonna be sore by the time Wednesday Dynamite AEW. Hopefully they have some time to recover, but I'm pretty sure their bodies are gonna be sore after that kind of match, because Anarchy in the Arena, that kind of match is not, it's brutal. It's probably one of the most brutalest matches that AEW shows. So yeah. I mean, I can go on and on about this match, but there's so many good spots that it's just like, this happened, and the bumps that a lot of these guys took, and girls, man, it's just crazy. All right, moving on to the final match for the Owen Hart Men's Tournament Final. The Aerial Assassin, Will Ospreay, and the Cowboy, Heyman Adam Page. The winner of this match was going to face the AEW champion, Jon Moxley. This match, it was good. I just didn't like the result. I'm going to be very honest. I just didn't like the result. Here's why. Hangman Page won. Nothing against Hangman. Good for him. He won. But we already saw Hangman versus Jon Moxley. We already saw that feud. Why not let Will Ospreay win? I think the reason why is because that would have been the obvious choice. And when the obvious choice is, they don't want to give the obvious choice the win right now. But personally, I wanted to see Will Ospreay win. I want to see Will Ospreay be AEW World Champion this year. And I think him and Jon Moxley would be a great feud. Both of those guys would be an excellent feud. It's not going to happen anytime soon. And Hangman Page and Jon Moxley will face each other. I don't know. Oh, yeah, they're going to face each other at All In, Texas. I just don't understand why, but it is what it is. I was hoping Will Ospreay will win and get Will Ospreay versus Jon Moxley. Because I honestly believe, and I want to see it, Will Ospreay needs to become AEW World Champion this year in 2025. I want to see that. I really want to see that. And I was hoping he would win the tournament, the Owen Hart tournament for men's, and he'll face Jon Moxley. That's not the case. It's going to be Hangman Page. Like I said, I'm not mad about it. But at the same time, we saw that feud already. Also, yes, Hangman Page hasn't won a AEW belt since 2022, I believe. So I guess you can say it's been overdue. 2022, 23, and 23, around that year mark. But selfishly, Will Ospreay would have been the better choice. Just saying. But I think Hangman Page deserves to compete, or probably deserves one more run, but we'll see. But yeah, that covers all 3 PLEs. What you guys thought of AEW Double or Nothing, NXT Battleground, Saturday Night Main Event? Did you guys like it? Did you guys enjoy it? Personally, Saturday Night Main Event for me, it was okay. Could have done better. Matches were rushed. NXT Battleground, I really enjoyed it. I liked it. AEW Double or Nothing, there was matches that I liked too, but also there was too many matches. Like, why put so many matches? And there were some matches that could have not been in this event. Just saying. No knock on the performers, but they could have been. Yeah. But yeah, with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. This was a long episode because, covering 3 PLEs in professional wrestling is not easy, but it's always fun. Next week we'll talk about something interesting. Next week we'll see what we talk about. I'll surprise you guys. A lot of big events coming up for the summer. Pro wrestling, MMA. MMA is coming on red hot. I can't wait. UFC, can't wait. With that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. Remember, we drop episodes every week, and if we don't drop them every week, we drop them. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe. I know you want to. Subscribe to Spotify. Follow us on Instagram. Comment below. Comment what you thought of the episode. We want to know. If it's good or bad, we want to know. With that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. This is Tito Madrano. This is TWT Talks with Tito, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care. Goodbye.